but as long as it's working still good.
Yeah, all good.
All right. My system's lagging a little bit. All right, guys, I've got a good one for us today. I'm excited to present this. I know that we have people kind of all over the spectrum as far as your transformative journeys. And so what we're going to do today is basically go over what are the protocols that give people transformation. How do we actually achieve the transformation? Nick, did you have a question before I get started? You had a hand raised. Were you just testing out the buttons?
No, I was just saying that I'm not going to be able to join any sessions. I'm in someone's crawl space right now.
Oh, you're in somebody's crawl space?
Nice. Yes, sir. I'm running ductwork right now, and I just figured I'd be at this meeting while I was doing that.
Love that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me see if I can push this. My system is lagging, but I'm going to share my screen, and then y'all have to tell me if I'm still. Ooh, man. Still some people trickling in here. All right, got Jared coming in. My system is just going so slow right now because I got this stuff going. Okay, we let Jared in. I think that's going to be it. And we're going to get going if I hear another ding. So let me see if I can get to the screen I'm going to share today. Oh, man, that thing is lagging. I might have to shut this screen recorder off because it is completely bummed out my system. Yikes. All right, I'm going to see if I can go with it, though.
You got to put you one of those big old antennas on top of that camper.
You know, it's just like actually lagging my system's power, but okay, here we go, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let me know if you can probably see my pointer is just crawling there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to let one more guy in, and then I've got to get off the screen because it is. Can you see my pointer just barely crawling across the screen? Oh goodness. All right, let me let these two guys in. Man, that's painful. Okay, got Hayden. You know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to turn off this screen recorder because I think this thing is absolutely killing my system. So sorry to the people on Facebook. This is going to be just us. Sorry, thanks for bearing with me, guys. But this has crashed my system. Oh my goodness. There we go. See if that fixes it. Okay, I'll leave that thing. Hopefully that gets me back in business here.
I can hear you.
All right, I think I'm back. Okay, good. I think that fixed me. At least gave me a little bit of power back. So I think I'm good. All right. Woof. Man, the cursor was just like crawling across the screen. Okay. I think we're good now, guys. Welcome. This is going to be an awesome one. I'm excited to show you this information. It's certainly been things that have provided me transformation over the years, and I hope that it serves you in the same way that it served me. Is my video frozen, or is it just frozen for me? Let me know if you guys got me, if we're still good.
I can. Yeah, you're still good.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right.
there.
Here we go. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to talk about in this presentation the beast protocols, essentially how to become a beast and how to get transformation in your life. Everybody see my screen okay?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to be diving into the body area of our core power elements. And as usual, you guys know we talk about body, being, balance, and business. So these are the 4 areas of life where we get power. And we're going to be delving into the body area of this. And so I just want everyone, while you're here, just remind yourselves before we move forward, what got you here? Remind yourself of how far you've come as well. Like if it's your first or second month and you're already eating healthy, you're already doing food prep, you're already getting in the gym, you're already meditating. Just remind yourself how far you've come. Sometimes we forget and we keep focusing on where we want to be, that we forget just how far that we've come so far. And just recall that and remember, all of our accomplishments are just going to be small wins. That's all they are. Little small wins over and over. 2 more guys coming in. All right, full house. So your commitment in the end is going to have to be deeper than the motivation that got you here. Motivation is what you feel one day and goes away the next. Logically, that you want a transformation in life, but if you're only able to follow what you felt that day, then you're never going to make it that far. You'll be back in what we call the karmic cul-de-sac, getting a little bit of results and falling back. And so your commitment has got to end up being deeper than motivation. So what I'm going to share with you today are 2 separate ways of achieving transformation. And without one, the other one is not going to happen. So first, I want to talk about what needs to happen in order to get personal transformation. And I know, I had gotten to a point, I just had surgery on my arm. I was in the basement every day trying to work on my business. I was going through a challenging divorce at the time. And I was just in pain. I was in pain physically. I was in pain emotionally because at the time I told myself tomorrow was going to be different, and it wasn't again. So I had just found myself in this painful spot, working every day in the basement all by myself, sitting in front of a screen, trying to make ends meet, and just trying to feel better and away from my family at the time because of the situation. And so I was in pain, and that pain is the beginning of transformation. At some point, it's the pain that wakes us up and says, hey, it's time for something to change. Sometimes we hit rock bottom. You hear in so many success stories, I was at rock bottom, right? And so if we want to be able to have transformation without being in rock bottom, we've got to allow ourselves to feel that pain. We've got to be honest with ourselves about the pain. Otherwise, we'll have to hit rock bottom before we can experience it without avoiding it, without lying about it, right? But the second part is we catch a vision. So once we've had pain, we start to create a vision of what life could be without that pain. And we start to create a world of thought that eventually will lead us to action over time. And so these are the steps, and this is the process of transformation. And if these things go away at any point, so if next month some of these things disappear, our transformation is in jeopardy. And so I'm going to teach you guys protocols tonight, but you got to keep in mind that if you don't use the protocols over time, then your whole transformation is in jeopardy. So these are the elements that you've just got to keep in your life in order to take action every day. So that's why, as far as the pain threshold, that's why we have truth is your first tool of understanding pain. If you're telling yourself lies every day, or I'm telling myself lies, we're not truthful about the pain we're in, we're not truthful about what we're doing in our life, then we don't see the pain. We put a Band-Aid on it by lying, and it doesn't work. And so our first tool is to be truthful to ourselves. And a lot of us, when we got on our first breakthrough calls, myself included, when I worked with a coach, it was having those first moments with a coach that got me to truth. What's up, Joshua? Good to see you, man. Hey, props to Joshua for being here, because he just worked like I don't know how many hour shift, and thank you for your service, Joshua. So got another one entering. I need to learn how to put auto admit on this thing. Okay, so you guys follow me so far? You guys follow me so far about this pain, vision, thought, action? We were all in pain at some point. And what happened in our breakthrough session is that coach would not let us lie. Our coach would not let us lie about our pain. He made us face the truth. And for that moment in time, we looked at truth and we realized, oh, damn, I do need to change, right? So pain is the way we get into our pain in a healthy way is by recognizing the truth, experiencing truth, and also through experiencing coaching. That's what coaching is all about. Helps us see the truth in a different way, helps us stop lying, right? So that's the first step. The next step in vision. So as soon as you joined the Leap Year program, we immediately started working on a vision. How many of you have found that process challenging? Anybody? How many of you looked at that and be like, wait a minute, I showed up to go to the gym, not to figure out my vision, right? It's like, what are we doing here, right?
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Right on. Yep. And it's a process, but I'll tell you what happens is eventually your vision will guide you, and you won't need the pain all the time. The pain's going to disappear for all of us. And so the reason we dive directly into vision is because if we're looking for a transformation and we don't have a vision, I can promise you we'll be back in that karmic cul-de-sac. If we don't have a vision, a compelling, exciting, purposeful direction for our life, straight back to the karmic cul-de-sac. And so that's why the first thing we do is we create that compelling vision. The next thing we do is we start to get into a tribe. You ever notice that send somebody to another country, put them in another culture, and their entire brain will function differently? They'll turn into a different person. They'll start acting like the group that's around them. That's because your tribe is more powerful than training. It's more powerful than anything you could do. That's why we men, we are creating a tribe for ourselves that's based around transformative actions, that's based around living a new life. So that's why we immediately got into a tribe. That's not just so we can be, I mean, it is fun. It's great to have everyone, but we need each other, because there's nobody at work. There's nobody at home that's saying, go, honey, you're doing awesome every day. Maybe some of us do, but we need that tribe to uphold us. It will change our mindset over time. It will have an effect more powerful than anything we have. That's also why we started meditating, because meditation is like weightlifting for your thoughts. It allows you the opportunity to rewrite your story. So that's why we jump directly into meditation and vision and the tribe. Because we're not talking about going to the gym tomorrow. We're talking about living a completely different life. And the last thing we did is we started taking action. We started creating habits and accountability. So that's what this program, we all have a vision for our life. We all are in pain. That's what this program is about, is creating this. This is the engine for all your transformation. What I'm going to show you tonight are protocols that, if you follow them, can completely transform your physical health. They can turn you to an explosive athlete. They can turn you into beast mode athlete, whatever it is you want. Josh, would you have a question, by the way? You had your hand raised. Nope.
No, sorry, I accidentally hit that.
Okay, you're good.
Sorry about that.
You're good. So, but if we don't attach that protocol to these transformative principles, it's never going to happen for us. Okay. So what I want us to do for a moment, I'm going to break us into small groups. What I want for you to do is just go through each person, talk about these 4 aspects: pain, vision, thought, action, and then tell the other men in your group which one of these areas you think is going to be most important for your transformation. Which one of these areas is going to be most important for your transformation? Give me a hands up or a thumbs up, or type clear in the chat if you understand what we're doing in the breakout rooms. Good. Thumbs up. All right. My first time doing these breakout rooms. So remember, we're going to say what each of the 4 things is, and we're going to say which one of those items most important for our personal transformation. Okay. I'm going to give you 5 minutes in the breakout rooms. Let's see. 5 minutes. Timer. All right. Okay. Here we go. Why did it put Hayden in his own room? Get over there, Hayden.
Oh, man.
All
I
right.
don't know what I did. There we go.
Here we go. Okay, are we in our rooms now? I've never done these breakout rooms with a Google before. Excellent. Okay, guys, am I with you? David, am I in with the room with you guys? Can you hear me? David, Gage, Mark, and Nick, are you guys in this room with me?
I am, but I have to go because I have to go talk to the phone.
Okay, David. Who's that? Is that Nick?
Yeah.
Which Nick do we got here? I can't see your what last name, Nick? Oh, Nick Britton. Oh, okay. Gotcha. David, you can hear me, but you can't talk? Oh, you got to stay quiet. I got you, brother. Gage, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I'm got to be quiet too. Putting the kids down.
Okay, guys. So I'll go ahead and go first so you get a feel for it. Pain, vision, thought, action. The area that's going to be the biggest for me right now is habits in my life. Because I move around so much and it shakes up my reality every time I move to a different state, and I move like once a month. Creating habits and accountability ends up being the biggest one for me. So that's what's going on for me. Gage, you want to go? Yo, Gage, you can't talk either. You got to be quiet. Well, David, you'll have to talk to me, man. Oh, wait, you can't talk either. Nobody can talk? That's funny. I got the one with all the babies. Habits. Right on.
So mine is going to be habits as well.
Right on. Habits.
But more of developing and staying on top of those habits so you can keep going to the gym and everything
Got
else
it.
that
Yep.
you and I already talked about.
Right on. Habit and structure. Lifestyle design. Yep. Yep. When we're developing the habits, it feels like juggling a bunch of different things. But when they become a habit, it's exciting when it starts becoming a habit for people. Nick, it kind of felt like food prep was almost becoming a strong habit for you, man. Right on, David. All right. Welcome back, guys. We just had our first breakout room experience.
That was good.
Good. I'm going to call for a couple shares. Thomas, since you spoke up, why don't you share which one of these areas of transformation do you feel is going to be most critical for you?
The thought process. And we all spoke in our group, and we all related to how our minds are never just to go to that place to think of these things. So it's challenging, and I told the guys, if it was not challenging, anyone could do it. And this is what separates us from normal people to come out on top as better leaders, better men. So the thought process is a little bit more challenging for me, especially with the domino effect. I do, like I told you before, I do love the in person. I didn't tell you this, but not texting or calling. I do it straight to their face. I feel like it has a little bit more meaning when you tell your wife, I appreciate you being a great mom, or the kids, like, hey, you guys are the reason I wake up every day, So
Right on.
But
right on, Thomas. Thank you, man. Great share. How about Jordan? Jordan, you wanna tell us what's going on, man? What's up, brother?
Yeah, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I agree with Thomas too. I kind of piggybacked on that too. Just the thought, the meditation, the reaching out to the tribe, the training. I feel like that portion of it's going to be the most difficult for me.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to like actually having people to lean on and extra motivation, and I'm just hoping that it all works out the way I want it to, and I know it will, because I'm gonna put my 100% into it, and I already feel it from some of the guys just in that little breakout session. It was kind of cool to relate to people and
Right on. Appreciate that. Good share, Jordan. Thank you, brother. And there's so much safety in our group. That's the thing about the group, is it probably feels normal, different at sometimes, but I tell you what, as long as you continue to participate in that group and do your check-ins and accountability, there's just no way you're going to fall completely out, even if you fall out for a minute. There's so much safety in our tribe. And so I'm going to go back to our share. We're going to go through this second part here. Give me a hands up when you can see my screen again. Got me? Fantastic. All right. This next part, guys, I've been excited to share this next part with you. I get really excited about this stuff because a lot of the stuff I'm going to share with you, I got it from pain. I got it from being obsessed with stuff and learning. And so these things are close to my heart. Just remember, as we go to these protocols, they're going to be exciting. But if we don't keep this pain, vision, thought, action thing going, if we don't stick with the tribe, we can fall out, and those protocols don't mean anything. Okay. So here we go. We're going to talk about the 6 thresholds of physical transformation. So there's a cool word that I learned early in my career. It was called supercompensatory. That means if you do this to your body, it will react in this way. If you do this, if you do A to your body, B will happen, right? And so I used to be a hard gainer. I couldn't gain muscle. I would eat anything I could. And you guys also know about my journey with jumping, and you know about my journey with mobility. Like every one of those things I had tried for years, and I didn't get any results. Even though I was putting in the effort, I was actually engaged in the right thing. I was doing all the stuff. I had a tribe even, but I wasn't doing the right things. And so it wasn't until I started hitting the thresholds that I was able to get you these results. And guys, to be honest, I was a little anxious about showing you guys this screen, because like it feels weird to brag on myself, but like I got to accomplish these things because I learned these thresholds, and it was awesome. And now I know, as long as I follow those first rules, as long as I follow these rules, I stay committed in these rules, I follow these protocols, we can achieve anything physically. Okay. So here we go through the thresholds. Threshold number 1 is repetition. That means that if you do something a certain amount of times, your body will adapt. It will learn a skill, right? I'm just going to throw them all up here, actually. These are all 6. Range of motion. There's a threshold that will help you achieve range of motion. If you don't reach that threshold, you won't increase your range of motion, right? The signal, let me just pop this one up. I think this one is more helpful. Okay, so repetition is the threshold for learning all of skills. You have to do something a certain amount of times, which is how you learn the skill. There's a certain threshold you hit. Range of motion is you have to go to a certain range of motion before you increase your mobility. I remember when I was a missionary, every time I knocked on a door, to knock on the door when I was a Mormon, I'd knock on a door and I'd do a stretch. Every day I'd stretch my legs, but I never made any progress because I was never hitting a threshold, even though I did it every single day of my life at every door. So for becoming an explosive athlete, the threshold is the neural signal. If you don't send a strong enough neural signal through your body, then there will be no explosiveness. You will not increase your explosive ability. For body composition, so if you want to lose weight or gain weight, the threshold is, are you burning more energy than you're putting in your body? So it has to do with what you're consuming and what your energy is. So if you don't hit the threshold of eating less than you exercise, you'll constantly gain a little bit of weight. And if you do the opposite, you expend more energy than you eat, you'll hit the threshold to lose weight. Okay, now these last 2 are how you gain muscular size. So there's 2 different ways. Okay, I'm gonna go back to here for a second, guys. Okay, did you guys catch those thresholds? So what's cool about each one of these thresholds is they all mean that there's a specific level that if you reach it, then you'll get the effect. And so the last 2 that you saw there were fuel. So if you're trying to, your body, your muscle has what's called sarcoplasm in it. And if you don't completely deplete that muscle of sarcoplasm at a certain threshold, then your body won't grow. So it's not about how heavy you lift, it's about reaching a total failure point in the muscle. So for example, if I've got 100 pounds and I can't do it anymore, I'm not at total failure. I've got to go lower weight so it's easier until I can hardly move my arms, until I hit failure. If you hit failure, then you'll extinguish the fuel and you'll hit the threshold for fuel, and your body will fill with more muscular fluid. The other one is tension. If you put enough tension on the muscle, and so Hayden, I know that you're going to be doing vertical jump training, you'll be working on protocols that hit a certain level of tension for the muscles. And the tension is what will increase the strength and muscular size.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, and to relate this back to vertical jump training as well, you saw the one for signal. So signal for vertical jump training means, like, I used to hook athletes up with electrodes, and then I'd figure out exactly what electrical signal went through their body. And so if you want to increase your vertical leap, you've got to do the tension threshold, which means that's how you're going to get stronger. And then you've got to do the repetition threshold, which is how you increase the skill of jumping. And then you've got to hit the threshold for signal. And we have a very special way we do that in the jump manual training. You could jump off a box, and when you land, it'll send a signal through your body, right? And your body will adapt. But eventually, that signal won't be enough. You won't hit the threshold. So we use elastic bands that pull your body down faster than gravity, and they make your body send an even stronger signal, which is how you hit the threshold.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So you're talking about signal, and you just mentioned an example of jumping off a box, like, box jumps.
Right.
So whenever I do large amounts of jump training, I usually end up injuring my feet. Like, I get plantar fasciitis. Is that because I'm overtraining, or what is that?
if you have a history of plantar fasciitis, it could be just related to your feet and how you walk and your gait. But you and I will dig deeper into that, because if you're dealing with plantar fasciitis on a regular basis, there's a couple stretches you need to do to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah. I know how annoying that is to have the shocks that go through your foot when you're walking. Are you getting that?
Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Oh man. Yeah, I've had it too. It started when I was walking in New Zealand, and suddenly I started getting these shocks through my foot, and I'm like, what is going on?
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Casey, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, just in terms of the plantar fascia, anything that you have in your body that ends with the word itis, itis is inflammation. And a vast majority of that can be handled with nutrition, believe it or not. Like I've seen people who've had plantar fasciitis that were runners. When they changed their diet, when they dialed in their nutrition, 90% of the problems went away.
Especially the water, huh? Because when you start doing your water, Hayden, and we went over this a little bit the other day, is like when you get enough water, the cushioning between your tendons and your joints and everything, it will change. Your cellular hydration will be different, and you'll start to recover more than you break down. Hydration will be big for you, but we'll dig into it together, man. But definitely start on your gallon of water.
Okay.
I can attest that a gallon of water helps with a guy who has 2 herniated discs right now. And I tell you, it's getting slowly getting better. My workouts, they're tough, the ones in the program. But I've noticed I'm able to go a little bit longer. You know, I've only been in this program about 2 weeks now. So, but the water does help. You're going to pee a lot more, obviously, but it does help, and you feel better. I've had more energy, especially when you start this diet and you start eating properly. You start flushing out all them toxins, all that sludge, all that gut bloat, and you know, if you get that gallon of water, and I drink more than a gallon because I'm a bigger guy, so I try to hit that gallon at least by 6 o'clock at night.
Right on, brother. Thanks for the share, Thomas. Thank you, Casey. So here we go. All right, so let's just take a look at what happens here. So we've got this repetition. There's a threshold that you have to do each one of these, and so you can start to select, depending on what area of your life you want to transform. You can select what thresholds you need to be hitting. So, for example, for repetition, we have habit and practice, right? For range of motion, when we get into mobility, we're going to learn a practice called activate and hold, which is how we increase our range of motion. There's a specific protocol we'll learn. Hayden and those who are doing vertical jump training, you're going to learn how to train faster than gravity. That's how you harness the threshold in your body to be more explosive. You got to do it. You've got to hit the signal threshold, or else. How many guys have you seen who go to the gym? They've gone to the same home gym in your hometown since they were 20. Now they're 40 years old and they look exactly the same. You know anybody like that?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen those guys? Well, what happens with them is they're not hitting the threshold. So they're staying within a certain range. They're never hitting a threshold. And so they're never experiencing transformation. They're just doing the work. And so the threshold is what will make all of the difference over time. If you're here and you're looking for, to lose for weight loss and to change your body composition, you're going to have to hit that energy threshold every day. If you hit the energy threshold every day, you are going to experience transformation. No doubt about it. If you want to get bigger muscles, you've got 2 thresholds you've got to hit. You've got to extinguish your muscular fuel, and you've got to hit a tension threshold. You hit those 2 thresholds, your muscles will grow, right? And so let's look at what happens over time. And I think this is the most powerful lesson in this is, you see these 3 lines here, guys? You got the yellow line, the black line, the green line. So let's say somebody trained for 1 year and they were just over the threshold every time they trained, right? Then you got somebody down here who basically is hitting below the threshold. So they're digressing. And then you got a person here who's just staying the same the whole time. So you notice the difference between right here and right here is the slightest change. the slightest change in intensity is what makes all the difference in your transformation. If you're right next to the threshold and you're not hitting the threshold in your protocols, years will pass and you'll stay exactly the same. And so that's why transformation and this process is actually just a really small win applied every time you do it. That's how you hit the threshold each time. It's just a little small win over and over and over again. So what I'd like us to do right now is we're going to break out into rooms again. This will be our last breakout session of the day. I want you to have a last look at these. Which one of these thresholds is going to be the focus of your training right now? You could pick one or you could pick two. So for skills, it's repetition. You got to hit a threshold of repetition. For mobility, it's going to be the range of motion threshold. For jumpers, it's definitely going to be tension, repetition, and signal. But choose two that you're going to work on. I want you to choose one or two of these protocols that you're going to focus on mastering. You master hitting that threshold, and you will achieve your transformation. So I'm going to break us out into rooms, and then
Hey, Jacob.
yeah, Hayden.
So with me, since I have that issue with the plantar fasciitis and something on the other foot too, do I need to focus on? I know I need to focus on signal because of jumping, but do I also need to focus on the range of motion? Because it seems like I'm tight.
So range of motion is definitely good for your overall training. And if you're experiencing tight, like if you have a decent range of motion, you can still become an elite level jumper, to be honest.
Okay,
Even if
gotcha.
you don't have amazing range of motion. However, like me right now, my main focus is mobility. That's what I love to do. It doesn't mean you can't still focus on mobility. And we're going to do a class all about mobility protocols as well. But if you want to I would definitely be focusing on some mobility until you're out of pain, because that stuff will catch up with you if you don't hit it in time.
Okay.
Yep. And we'll work on that together as well, Hayden. Okay, I'm going to break us out into rooms again. Again, is everybody clear on what we're doing in the rooms?
Yeah. Can you hit that screen one more time?
Yeah, let me hit it one more time. There we go. See him?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, rooms. Timer, 5 minutes. Okay, here we go.
Stuff.
Come on.
Like that. So my foot is tingling.
Hey, Tommy, you in charge now that Jacob's gone?
I looked away for a second. I realized he was gone.
You know, that's funny. I'm glad you said that, Thomas, because I was talking and I was muted.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I was going to ask you a question when you were in our group. Did you for some reason, I was thinking midway through the sets yesterday, I just want to have a face-to-face and ask if you got those workouts from a Navy SEAL, maybe Special Forces, because that's nuts, some of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. We worked on him, and Coach Dathan and Coach Casey hooked him up. So, I mean, Casey's how many ever time black belt, so he'd probably have his way with a Navy SEAL. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he probably would.
Yeah, nice, man. Jared, you want to have a share, and then we'll get Eric for a share, and then we're going to wrap up, guys. Jared, which one of the thresholds are you going to be going through, working on?
So I was talking about the energy. That's the threshold I think I want to work on the most.
Okay.
And I really think if I can push myself to that point every day, I liked the analogy you did with the lines, right? Like, that's what I want to. I want to reach something. I want to feel like every day I've exhausted myself. I got to a point that I can actually feel good about myself, right? That's one of the biggest things is every day I need a win. And I think if I do that, that would be a big thing for me.
Got it. Good share, Jared. Thank you, brother. Eric, which threshold are you working on, brother? Yes.
So I'm looking at the tension, the cluster sets and the negatives just from the workouts. Like, I've never really experienced that.
Okay.
I feel like I've always given up too soon when working out. Kind of like you were saying, the guys at the gym all the time. I mean, I've been to the gym, worked out a lot, but I've never pushed to that point that, doing 6 sets of these 4 exercises right after each other. It was
right on.
It's not a normal thing that I would do.
Right on. Yep. What's nice is I always would think about that before I left the gym. Did I reach a threshold in one of my goals or not? Because if I reach the threshold, then I get to say that, I'm going to get the super compensatory effect. Did I reach a threshold? And it's funny that you mentioned that too. I'm going to share my screen one last time, and then I'm going to let everyone, we're all going to go, but let me show you this. So we had this slide that shows, hey, did we hit a threshold before our training? So that's the question before we leave our training. Did we hit the threshold today or not? Right. And just to wrap up as well, all those thresholds they have to be applied over time. You got to do them every time you train. But if you don't have this part going on for you, if you don't have the truth in coaching, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have the thought process going down with you, meditation, tribe, and train, if you don't have, that's why there's safety in what we're doing, guys. And this mojo is this concept that we used for vertical jump training. Mojo stands for my object just out of reach. And so that's how you help yourself stretch. You put an objective just out of reach for yourself, and it gets you in through the threshold. And so for vertical jump training, that's why I would never let my athletes train without reaching for an object. You don't just go do your jumps. You reach for the object so you know if you're getting close to the threshold. You touch that object, you hit your threshold. And so whether it's guys in your training, whether it's in an energy threshold, whether it's in a mobility threshold that you're reaching for, get your objective just out of reach. And for us, what is the mojo? The mojo is the dominoes that we work on as well. When we select our dominoes for the week, we're selecting an objective that we haven't quite reached. It's just out of our reach, right? And we're doing that over and over again. Our dominoes also keep us in that threshold way. Guys, I'm gonna, for those of you who are okay to wait, I'm gonna say a prayer for us. And then if anybody wants to stay for 5 or 10 minutes and talk about the dominoes or the vision document, I know some of you guys had some questions about it. Before we go, let me just, I'm gonna say a prayer for us. Heavenly Father, we're just grateful for this brotherhood of men that we have. We're grateful for the spirit of knowledge that you give to us. And we just ask that you bless these men, that in their walks and in their efforts, in their hearts, that they're blessed, that they feel your presence, and that we upheld and lift up one another. We just ask that you watch over us in our journeys and help us to affect good and to bring happiness and help to others. And we're just grateful for the things that we've been given. We say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'll stay on for 5 minutes or so. If anybody wants to talk about the vision document or the vision work that they were doing already, and appreciate you guys for showing up and being present and participating in your groups. Good work, boys.
Hey, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
So are we doing the one-on-one? Are we doing that like further down the road?
Which one?
I guess or am I just doing the master class? Is that what I'm doing for the jump training?
Okay, so what you and I, Hayden, are going to do, we're going to set up your custom programming for the jump training, but I set you up the master class because I want you to learn how to use the bands. That's how you're going to hit. Yeah.
Okay.
I gave you that specifically to watch the master class. The master class is basically how you master the signal threshold. So it's a technique we're going to use, and then if you don't have to do it right away, but I know how. I can promise you, if you're grabbing the rim right now, if you master the tension threshold and repetition thresholds, you're going to be dunking, man.
Bet. All right. Sorry, man. I'm slow.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good, man. You took in a lot when you started. Right when you
Right.
start, we throw the vision at you, and the group. There's a lot going on. But just do exactly as you're doing, man. Feedback and questions, and you'll be good.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Aiden.
So, Jacob, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Last Monday, I started at that 317 mark of weight. I dropped it fairly quickly to where I'm at now, about 304, 305.
Nice.
It's starting to slow down now.
Yep.
Is that normal?
Yes, it absolutely is normal.
Okay.
What's going to happen with energy and vertical leap is you'll notice a bump right at the bat, and then you're into just having those small gains every week. The only time you need to start getting concerned is if you see it reverse directions. That means you're not hitting a threshold in some way, shape, or form. So for right now, energy threshold is going to be a big one for you. Making sure the energy in is less than the energy out.
And following that meal plan that's on that PDF.
Yep.
Doing the 6 ounces of hamburger meat with the half cup of rice, doing the 3 meals a day, stuff like that. And then, like today, I told you I was going to integrate weightlifting. I did that after doing your workout yesterday, and I came home, bro, I was pooped. I took a nap. Like, I don't know if it's because it finally caught up to me, but I think I pushed myself pretty good into muscle failure today. I just want to make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong already, why my weight started to slow down.
Nope, you're doing good, man. Just keep doing your check-ins, and we'll be able to watch as your weight is over time, and we'll just be able to see if we're hitting thresholds or not. We'll make adjustments, but you're fine right now. Right now, your body is doing two things: it's cleansing and it's recovering. So that fatigue came from that recovery. Your body's like, "Whoa, haven't felt this in a while," and so that's recovery, man.
Okay.
Yep. No, you're good. You're gonna be good.
What's good, Coach? It's Sonny.
What's up, Sonny?
In the middle of work, I just want to say, when I blew my knee out, I wasn't able to really do the leg workout, so I kind of doubled up on the arms. Probably was a little bit of a dumb thing to do. I won't say dumb. I had to do some work, but the lactic acid has been kicking my ass in the biceps. So, question on quicker ways to maybe speed up that recovery process, whenever you work an area that hard.
Got it. So, whenever you're getting delayed onset muscle soreness, like you're talking about next day you're sore, right?
Yeah. It maybe not immediately the next day, but late to next day and the second day.
Yep. What you want to do is just make sure to not work it out, but use those muscles again. If you're sore and you don't do anything for days, that soreness sticks around because the lactic acid doesn't have anywhere to go. So what you want to do is just get your general blood flow going again. You can kind of do light exercises with the muscle and some stretches, but you're just trying to get blood flow and hydration through there again. So that's your best bet against it.
Gotcha. Appreciate that.
My second thing is enjoy it while you can, because after a while you don't get that muscle soreness anymore. So
I mean, this wasn't anything that I ever enjoyed, but it just let me know I was working.
Yeah, it used to be at a point with me where I got that muscle soreness. I was like, that means I hit the threshold. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your body literally saying you hit the threshold. But eventually it goes away. You still get results, but you don't get a feel anymore.
Gotcha.
Right on. Jared, Eric, you guys good? I think we're going to turn in.
Yeah, all good, Coach. Appreciate you, man.
Good. Yeah, you too, Eric.
Thanks for taking the time out to teach this lesson today. It was pretty good.
Oh, thanks, man.
By far the best one.
Awesome, man. Thank you, brother. All right,
as
Thomas.
well,
Take care, guys.
As well,
Peace.
Coach. It was a good one. If I could add one thing, I think you should have left the groups on for a little bit longer.
Okay, thank you for that input. What do you think? Maybe like 7 minutes or so?
Every single time, because it was 5 minutes, it looked like, right?
Got it.
We got cut off, and we barely even got to get everyone. So I actually thought you could have done 10, to be honest.
Oh, really? Thank you for that feedback, Jared.
Yeah, I would have said 8, but
yeah, I like the group. We just had enough guys to do the groups today, which I'm glad, because like there's nothing like getting the feedback from the other dudes in the group. So I'm glad we had the time to do it. But yeah, I will definitely make it a little bit longer. Thank you for that feedback, Jared.
Yeah, and I also liked how there was one main person that's been doing it a while, and then a newbie. I don't know. I thought that was really good, just to get the different perspective from all the different people that were in it. And I think that's what I want the most, to be honest.
Yeah, it helps, doesn't it, to just meet somebody who's, I don't know what it is, but just feeling that other people are going through it and some are new, or you get to see the full spectrum of what's going on. And so that's awesome, man. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah, we're able to troubleshoot together on every problem that we have. We can give other guys options to, handle those situations because we've already went through them. Or if we need the help, we go to them. So this is a hell of a brotherhood, and this is what the accountability and the push almost brings me back to, basic training days where they expect you and they hold you accountable for doing it. So I've got in the back of my mind that you're in my pocket every day. So like, I can't let you down, and it's a thing in my mind that I can't. So hopefully everybody gets that.
Yep. Awesome, man. We're going to do breakout rooms from this point on. I love doing, I've done in own coaching when I've participated in, whenever there's breakout rooms, man, I loved it too. So I'm glad you guys loved it. Also, I'm going to let you guys go. Sonny, Jared, Thomas, I will see you guys soon.
Yep. Have a good night, bud.
Thanks,
Coach.
Bye.
See you guys.